Reconnect Tameside is a capacity building programme which supports 8 groups in Tameside. All of them promote creativity and well-being. And the programme was brought about in response to the challenges that the groups faced as a result of the lockdown as part of the pandemic. So Global Grooves is the lead partner on the project, and therefore it was important for us to understand what the needs were across those groups. So we kind of did a needs audit. We spoke at length with the leaders of the organisations to find out what their needs were. And then we put together a training programme, if you like, or a programme of talks and activities and support that responded to each one of those groups' needs as best we could within the confines of the project. We applied for some funding to support them in their activity and to allow the organisations a little bit of space, if you like, to respond to those challenges.
What's been really interesting for Global Grooves is, as well as helping to put together the programme to help support this transition during COVID for all the organisations involved, is that we've also been participating in the programme ourselves. And it's been a really interesting kind of process to take part in, because we are, although slightly larger than some of the other organisations that are involved in the programme, we also face exactly the same challenges. Most of our work is participatory, so that involves anything from 10 to sometimes hundreds of people getting together to create something incredible. Or it's us performing to audiences, and obviously that's been a huge challenge because that's not been possible. It's really highlighted for us how kind of fragile the arts and cultural sector is in Tameside, and demonstrated what mechanisms we need to put in place as individual organisations, but also to create a more sustainable environment for arts and culture to bloom in general.
Some of the main challenges around lockdown was all events, all festivals, all parades and carnivals stopped instantly overnight. We've actually had to rethink all of our projects this year, because we can't do the big stuff going out onto the streets with lots of people. And we're doing 2 projects this year. One is called Flags for Hope, and we've been working as well with unemployed women, giving them tutorials around batik, and then we're going to be looking at embroidery. So that money's fed into all of those projects, because we've now got to put all of those projects on a digital platform, and it's that money and that support has just really helped us look at that digital content and how we can keep going. So another element of support that has come through the project is we as Carassa, we've really been looking at the organisation, and it's given us that real push, because it's like, oh look, here's some actual funding to do something with it and get someone in that can really support that with the organisation, and is only going to make us stronger in the future.
I think a big challenge for us as a dance company was that lack of ability to be able to get into a studio space. And all of a sudden I was having to turn my living room into a makeshift dance studio. I suddenly realised how cluttered the room looked when you're looking at it, through a screen. So it's all these tiny little details that I've never ever had to bother with before that suddenly I'm really conscious of. So I think the challenges have been not just taking what I would normally do and putting it on film, but all those extra little bits that when you're not a professional in a filmmaking area, you have to learn them as you go along. As the world kind of slowly reopens, I don't just want to shift away from digital completely, because I've learned throughout this pandemic that actually digital can be very useful and help people who otherwise wouldn't be able to get to your sessions or connect. So along with the funding that enabled me to buy digital resources and tech, I was able to have a one-to-one session with a filmmaker that gave me like a basis of knowledge that I can now apply and use that I didn't have before, and it's been really, really useful.
The Pagdrishti group for ladies who had been isolated and lonely for a very long time, being widows. Used to take the ladies out on the trips, art and craft, music sessions, dancing. In the beginning, when we found out, it's going to be total lockdown, and I said to myself, oh my God, what are these ladies going to do? We just managed to get get them out and build up a confidence. Global Groove, they were going to do some balloon patchwork, and they contacted us if we were interested in it, so that we can have a go. So in the end, we have done 14 batik paintings, which our members and the volunteers really enjoyed it and learned the new skills. This will help us tremendously in future to connect with the other organization, and especially the professional artists that the Global Groove has got.
The pandemic has had a really significant and very powerful effect on what we've been able to do as a company and the way in which we normally function. We are a touring theatre company, and that necessitates us obviously going out and doing lots of work in schools, and for just over a year now we've not been able to do that at all. The Reconnect project in Tameside came along at a fantastic time for us. It was in a period of time where we had started to develop a piece of work called the Ripple Project, which was this sense of trying to gather people's stories and experiences of lockdown, to get a phone out, to get online in some way, and to actually film themselves telling their story of lockdown. And the Reconnect monies have helped us to continue to gather those stories, but also to do what I'm doing now, which is to think through where we might be able to go and to build on the ambition. There's that sense of reconnecting people, joining people together, and exploring what can be done on a human and on a creative level to tackle isolation and loneliness. So it's been fantastically therapeutic, because it's helped me to see beyond this office that I've been trapped in for a year.
So the way we used to set up pre-pandemic was we had 2 weekly sessions. The younger people who played smaller instruments, the P-buzzes, and then we've got the older session playing trombones, trumpets and saxophones. And then on top of that, now and again, we always have some gigs, as we like to call them, whether that's marching around Mosley for Whit Friday or setting our own little concert up in the Vale just to bring everyone together. So Reconnect Tameside has basically been a complete game changer for us.
So I think the programme has helped the band in terms of we've been able to take on more staff. I only came on in October, and since then we've had 3 more new members of staff, and we've been able to run 2 projects as well thanks to the programme, one called Electrostatic and one called Sunflower. So everyone would record their own music at home, or we would record it through the Zoom, and it would all get sent to Paul, and then he edited it into a video to say that we've created something even though we're apart. It just shows the community's still there, which is really nice, I think.
We have a shop that sells all sorts of magical travel equipment, but these things have been made by the people who come and do workshops. We only opened in November 2019, so we felt like we were just establishing ourselves. The whole point of it was to try and get lots of people coming in, so the exact sort of opposite of what lockdown is all about. Reconnect Tameside sort of came along at a really sort of crucial time, because it was just when all our funding was coming to an end, but also just feeling like there was sort of a bit of a sort of bigger network of support out there. What I really need is, to talk to someone about the direction that I'm going to take Fantrin and how am I going to do it. I'm having a coaching session that is being paid through Reconnect Tameside. It's a one-to-one coaching session with someone who specialises in working with creative businesses.
The challenges Khushamdeed has faced after the lockdown was quite huge in the beginning as well, because as we are volunteer based charity, and because our service users were from the BAME community, they haven't got the resources and also the digital skills as well So it was really hard to engage them in different activities which we usually used to deliver from the community centres, like art and craft and exercises, all these activities. So we have used this grant to provide our service users the different resources like laptops, tabs, which enable us to do all these activities at the moment. And I think this is going to be used in the future as well, even we will come out from this lockdown. All the support which has been given by the Global Grooves Jane to us to be involved in different workshops, that project really helped us. So I really would like to thank you to Global Grooves, and especially thank you to Jane as well, that who keep us going.
I think one of the things that's been very clear for me through the project is the resilience of the groups within Reconnect Tameside. But at the heart of everything that's done is the interest in other people and their quality of life and how they can enhance and support their participants, whoever they are. And I think this vibrancy and this commitment is one of the most amazing things about the work that's going on at the moment.
And I think it's really allowed the group of organisations to think about how we might all work together in the future and where our work crosses over. And that's a really, really exciting prospect for Tameside, because the organisations in the Reconnect network are spread out across the borough. And I think that there is definitely going to be future partnership working, and there is definitely already a stronger sector because of the programme.